You know, in the world of data, there's this huge debate that's always framed like a clash of titans, data mesh versus data fabric. It almost always sounds like you have to pick a side, a choice between two totally competing philosophies. But what if that's the wrong way to look at it entirely? Today, we're going to pull back the curtain on what's really a hidden alliance between them.
So, does this sound familiar? Your company is collecting more data than ever. I mean, it's pouring in from every app, every click, every single sensor. But when you actually need to use that data to make a smart decision, you're just stuck. You're completely drowning in this ocean of raw data, but you can't get a single drop of insight when you actually need it. For the longest time, the old model was pretty simple, right? You just funneled all your data to one central team of experts. The data warehouse, the data lake, that was your single source of truth. But as companies scaled up, that central team turned into a massive bottleneck. Every single request from every department had to line up in their queue, and they just couldn't keep up. And let's be clear, this isn't just some tech problem. This bottleneck, it slows down innovation, it delays critical business decisions, and it leaves your domain experts, the people who actually get the data, feeling totally powerless. The very system that was designed to empower the business is now holding it back.
So, to solve this crisis, two major philosophies have emerged: data mesh and data fabric. And yeah, they are often pitted against each other, like two rival solutions competing for the throne of modern data architecture. But are they really enemies? Look, while their methods are radically different, both mesh and fabric share the exact same goal: to get trustworthy, high-quality data into the hands of the business, and to do it faster. The crucial difference, the thing we're going to dig into, is how they try to get there.
Okay, first up is data mesh. The best way to think about it is as the organizational reformer. Its motto is basically, give power to the people. It argues the problem isn't the technology, it's the org chart. It's a socio-technical revolution that says the people closest to the data, they should own it, period.
Now, this philosophy is built on four key principles. First, domain ownership. Simple. The marketing team owns marketing data, sales owns sales data. Makes sense, right? Second, data as a product. This is a big one. Data isn't just some table in a database. You have to treat it like a real product, with an owner, quality standards, and consumers who depend on it. Third, you need a self-serve platform. So a central tech team provides the tools so that all these other teams can easily build and share their data products. And finally, federated governance. This sets the global rules of the road for security and quality, but it gives local teams the autonomy to manage their own stuff.
All right, now let's look at the other contender, data fabric. This is the AI-powered automator. Its motto is, let the tech handle it. Instead of trying to reorganize the entire company, Data Fabric just embraces the messy, scattered reality of data silos and uses really smart technology to weave them all together.
So, how does this actually work? Well, Data Fabric uses something called active metadata. That's metadata that is constantly learning. And it uses AI to scan all your different systems. It then builds what's called a knowledge graph. Just think of this as a super smart map of all your data that understands that C_ID in one database and cust_num in another both actually mean customer. This creates a single, unified view, letting you access all your data without the massive headache of physically moving it all.
Okay, so we've got the organizational reformer on one side and the AI-powered automator on the other. Let's put them side by side to really dig into where their philosophies split. This table really just lays it all out. Look at the primary drivers. Mesh is all about scaling the organization, while Fabric is focused on technical integration. And that one difference changes everything else. Mesh sees data as a decentralized product, which leads to that federated governance model and a huge cultural shift. Fabric sees data as a centralized asset, and it uses AI as its core engine to create a unified layer, which is more of a focused tech project.
You know, the biggest philosophical battleground here is really governance. Fabric offers a centralized command and control model. This is fantastic for industries with heavy compliance rules. You set a rule in one place and boom, it applies everywhere. Mesh, on the other hand, uses a trust and verify model. It trusts the domain teams to manage their data, but it verifies they're following the rules by embedding automated security and quality checks right into the platform itself.
So that's the theory. But how do these ideas actually hold up in the real world when they're faced with actual business problems? Let's check out a few fascinating examples.
95%. What does that number mean? Well, it represents something that most companies can only dream of: a near total collapse of the time it takes to get from raw data to a critical business insight.
So at the pharmaceutical giant Roche, the central IT teams just didn't have the PhD-level expertise to understand super complex scientific data. It wasn't their fault, it's just not their job. By implementing a data mesh, they empowered the actual scientific teams to own their own data products. And the result? They slashed the time it took to get insights for inventory forecasting from a staggering 5 years down to only 3 months. That's that 95% reduction. Just incredible.
The European fashion retailer Zalando was facing what they called a data swamp. Their solution was pure data mesh. As this quote shows, the software engineering team that built, say, the logistics service also became the owner of the logistics data product. This idea of extreme ownership completely transformed their ability to innovate with their data. Now let's talk Fabric. Think about real-time fraud detection at a big bank. The data is scattered everywhere, on mainframes and cloud apps with third-party systems. You can't just reorganize the entire bank to solve this problem. It's impossible. So instead, a data fabric creates that virtual layer using its knowledge graph to instantly link a credit card swipe in London to a login attempt in New York, uncovering these complex fraud rings in milliseconds.
So, who wins? Mesh or Fabric? Well, this is where the story takes a really interesting turn. See, the whole versus debate, it's a false choice. The future isn't about picking a side. It's about a powerful combination. It's that hidden alliance we talked about at the start.
Okay, here is the absolute key takeaway. Data mesh is your organizational strategy. It's the who and the why. Who owns the data and why they're held accountable. Data Fabric is the technology that makes it all possible. It provides that self-serve platform your teams use to build, share, and govern their data products. You see? They're really two sides of the same coin. And generative AI is just pouring rocket fuel on this fire. For Fabric, AI is automating all that tedious work of tagging data, which solves the cold start problem, that huge upfront effort you used to need to get the system running. And for Mesh, you have AI co-pilots that are empowering business users, people with zero coding skills, to create their own data products. It's making the dream of a truly self-serve platform a reality.
So as we wrap this up, I want to leave you with a question to think about for your own organization. When you look at your data bottlenecks, is the root cause a lack of technology to connect your systems, or is it really a lack of clear ownership and accountability? Because the answer to that question will tell you whether you need to start with a Fabric mindset, a Mesh mindset, or, as we've seen today, a powerful combination of both.